Thank you all so much for joining in. And the way to ask questions in the Hangout is to unmute your mic and to ask. And if you're outside the Hangout, you can post your questions in the question and answers application. So I'll be here for another 25 minutes or so today to start with. And then I have to rush to my son's school for something. And then I come back in about half an hour, 45 minutes. And meanwhile, in the meanwhile, maybe one of you can have a reading from something that you've been reading on the Advaita channel. A nice scripture or a book.
I've got something on standby from Adya, some contemplations from the way of liberation, Father.
Very good.
I have a question whenever you're ready.
Yes, please go ahead, my dear.
Actually, it's a very silly question, so I was thinking a lot whether I should even ask it or not. But since it's been there going around in my head for a long time, I said, let me put it out there. Yesterday, during the silent this thing, for half the period we had our eyes closed, and then you asked us to open our eyes. Why is that?
Okay. Because we have to get used to the silence. We have to get used to the silence in the waking state. See, we have to get used to the silence with our eyes open. So this silent sitting is not just something like a process or an exercise that we're doing for that amount of time. It is actually to get you used to this silence, which is irrespective of words or states. This silence, which is always present, to get used to that in the waking state, in the state of our normal day-to-day life as well. So it was not really like a meditative exercise, but to see that even when my eyes are open and all the distractions of the world can appear, actually this silence which was there still remains. So that's why sometimes it can feel a little uncomfortable. And I saw your question also that some resistance was coming in the form of sleep after you opened your eyes, actually.
That's right.
Yes. Typically, it's more common for the sleep to come when the eyes are closed. When the eyes are open, maybe it felt very drowsy and wanted to close the eyes. It can happen sometimes like that. But the point to get you to keep your eyes open for half the time was just to see that even eyes closed or eyes open, the silence which is here continues irrespective of what is appearing in the world.
When I had my eyes, sorry.
Otherwise, we correlate the state of silence with this sort of, we have to close our eyes and be sitting like this to be in silence. What I'm saying is that even with eyes open, even with words speaking, even with words hearing, the silence which is felt and the truth of the heart can continue.
When I had my eyes closed, I was trying to be in, to remain in, to just be.
Yes.
So even if thoughts were coming and I was getting caught and I was wandering off and then I was coming back to the point. But with the eyes open, when I was trying to do the same thing, then what was happening was the eyes were remaining obviously fixed at one point, and that's when I was feeling sleepy. And if I was allowing the eyes to move, then I was getting distracted and I was thinking of getting caught in whatever was happening. So was that the purpose of the exercise?
Actually, it's even simpler than that. Is to allow everything to happen on its own and just for us to just see what we are. We are just the witnessing of even the attention we did not need to control so much. It can just go. Even now we can do this. The attention can be free to go anywhere. The thoughts can be free to come and go. All emotions are allowed. And it's a state of complete non-resistance. You don't have to try to do anything at all. And we let go of the trying the trying to or the trying not to, both types of trying, then you will find that quickly all these energies will come, they will try to play out something, but as you keep letting them go, you will find that your natural state is this state of neutrality. So the natural state is not a state in which we are forcing our attention to be in a particular direction or forcing our attention to be with the sense I am or forcing our attention to do anything at all. It is just a free state. Everything is allowed to go free. You don't hold on to anything at all. Even if it seems like distractions are there and attention is going here, it's going there, it's okay. It's okay. As long as you're not believing a thought about it, it's fine because it won't last. It'll get tired of jumping about if you're not latching on to anything.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Namaste, namaste everyone.
Father, can I ask something?
Yes, my dear, of course you can.
After Satsang yesterday, I tried to do this exercise with writing all the thoughts.
Yes.
And what is a bit disturbing, and I don't really know how to look at this, is this voice who speaks as I.
Yes.
And when I sit, there's nothing because it's only my own voice would be there. So when I look, it's nothing. But when I don't look, it's always describing something. Usually it speaks as the seeker, like, look, now there's this, and I should say this in satsang, and it's a bit weird because it's always talking. And since I became aware of this, it feels, I don't know, a bit,
Yes.
I don't know how
It's a bit
to.
noisy. It can seem initially as we become more aware that it is a bit noisy. Sometimes we even get reports, like yesterday, we got a report that ever since I started looking, the mind has become very noisy. You see, it can seem like actually the mind has been so noisy, but we've been just following it around, so we've not noticed so much. Now that we have a sense of distance from it, we feel that, oh, it's so noisy. But already, if you're saying that my mind is noisy, you are not saying that I am noisy. You see, that distance has already been created. So it's good that you notice that it is noisy. That's a good step where you start noticing that it is noisy. It is very good compared to saying that I am feeling this way or
But
my thoughts.
it seems there is a strong identification with this voice. It really feels like it's me, but also there's a little bit of space to observe. So I don't know. I don't place myself as observing it. It seems like the only I is in this voice. There's no other I except for this one speaking. And there's awareness, which there is no I there. But I identify more with the voice than with awareness.
When you say that I identify with the voice, that means that there is a I which is separate from the voice, isn't it? That can identify with something.
Yes.
So it is not the voice already. If you were convinced that you are the voice, you would say that I am saying this, I am thinking this. You see, but you already say that I am identifying with this voice. That means there is a I and there is a voice. So who is the I then? Who is identifying with this?
I don't know.
Yes. I don't know is good. Because to see that I don't know who this I is means I don't know who I am. Yet you are aware of the voice, isn't it? When the voice comes, you are aware of it.
Yes.
So what is aware of this voice? What is aware of thoughts? Is it a thought which is aware of thoughts?
No.
It cannot be a thought which is aware of thoughts. A thought is not aware of you. You are aware of your thoughts. Also, don't believe this thought that I am identifying with the voice. That's just another thought, you see. In the thought itself, you can see that it is not true because you said that I is there and the voice is there. Then the meaning of I am identifying with the voice doesn't make sense. For that, you would
Yes.
say that only the voice is here and I am this voice. But you already say that I am there and the voice is there and I am identifying with this voice.
And this I that is saying I'm identifying is trying not to identify and trying to
This is
separate,
the
makes
same.
even more problems.
The voice which is saying that I am identifying with the voice is the voice itself. The words of the voice itself. It's the same
Yes.
guy. If you don't believe it, then what is the problem? Actually, you can never become the voice. You can never become. If you try, and say, I will become this voice of the person or the ego, you cannot do it because you are aware of it. You are always the awareness itself. You can never become the voice. So only when you believe the voice will you say, I am the voice. Or will you say, I am identified with the voice. You cannot do it. Can you do it and show me? Can you identify with the voice? Show me how you do it.
It's because it seems so familiar. It's what I always thought it's me.
Yes, but you also then, you have always been aware of it. See, you always were aware of it, but only that you believed what it was saying. Now what we are saying is that you don't believe what it is saying. You see, you always thought that this voice is the master. Now the master comes and says, this voice was never the master, it was the trickster. So you don't believe the trickster, you believe the master. In reality, you cannot get identified. In reality, you cannot leave this position of witnessing. In reality, you cannot stop being awareness and become something else. Everything that is happening, you are aware of it. As what? As this awareness itself. Can you stop being aware right now?
No.
The switch off awareness. Stop witnessing. Can you do it?
No. But there seems to be this middle person between what is happening and awareness, and this is now very stressed. It's like really.
Yes. Of course, it has reason to be stressed. It was the king, it was the king of life, and now it is a beggar on the street. Now it is a beggar begging for your belief and attention. You see? It used to be the king, you used to follow everything that it was saying. Now it is a beggar on the street which is begging for your attention. Of course, it will be stressed. So, but as long as it's seen that you are not that, then it can be whatever you want, whatever it wants. It can throw all the tantrums, it can jump around, it can do whatever it wants. You are just witnessing it. You are never that. You cannot become that. And if you were to say that, I became that, I will not believe you. Because it is not possible.
So this fear that is coming up all the time is okay, and just sometimes I feel like I don't allow it fully. I just struggle with it. I just want it to go away because it's so like I wake up in the morning and straight away it's fear.
Is there fear here now? Is it here now?
Yes.
Okay, so just watch the fear. Let's watch the fear together. You hold my hand and let's look at this fear. Don't run from it. Just stay with it and see if it is actually hurting you in some way. There will be some feelings of discomfort. There could be some feelings of getting caught or constricted. But notice that they're all just feelings. They're all just feelings. And the witnessing is not touched by any of these feelings. The witnessing is unaffected and unconcerned. It is only a thought which comes and says, this feeling should not be there, or this feeling is so strong. It is the same interpreter which is saying. See how this fear is touching you if it is. This is what it means to face our fears. Face your fear does not mean that we face it arrogantly. It does not mean that we become arrogant about it. To face the fear means just to witness the feeling of fear without a sense of escape about it, without trying to hide from it.
Yes, it usually happens like a forced surrender when I cannot handle it anymore. It just in one moment it goes away when I let it be.
Because it never actually touched you, you see. It can never actually touch what you really are. Feelings, and there can be more feelings and other type of feelings, and the mind will say, this is so uncomfortable. I cannot be free because this feeling is there. It's just the mind. It's just the mind which is saying all this. You will come to a place soon where you will be unconcerned which feelings are coming and going. You are already starting to be unconcerned about which thoughts are coming and going. In the same way, you will become unconcerned about which feelings are coming and going.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. So B says, Namaste Father, please help me to look into this confusion between true devotion to the Guru versus an egoic show of devotion, which I feel happens. That is, wanting to create a label of being your devotee. Thank you, Father. Anytime we say egoic, it means reliance on thoughts. Anytime we say ego, means belief in some thought. As simple as that. So if there's a thought that is being believed in, even about the Guru or yourself as a devotee, you can let the thought go. Because true devotion does not rely on any concepts. It cannot be created. It just is. Mhm. And it just flows. If you're following the simple pointing not to believe our thoughts, then it cannot be egoic. You see, also do not judge yourself very harshly. Don't keep judging yourself harshly because this is another trick of the mind. Some flow of devotion can happen, some expression of love can happen, and then the mind comes in and says, but that is so egoic. It is the ego itself which comes and says that is egoic. And even if something was expressed in a deeply identified state of ego, it does not help to believe that that was egoic. It is just gone. Now don't pick up your thought. Don't take your temperature also so much. Don't take your temperature so much. Just be free. Just be free. So the ego comes in post the event, post facto, and says this was egoic, this was non-egoic. Why are you relying on this mind's conclusion for what is happening? What is happening is happening. Govil says, I know this is also desire of mind, but nowadays I can't help myself. This question is frequently coming, although my life is going smoothly with some ups and downs. Did I miss this question?
I've asked him to repost it. I think it went missing somewhere.
I see.
I'm also going to suggest that he comes into the hangout if he wants to discuss it with you.
Okay. Yes, I have another 5 minutes or so, but maybe once I'm back, maybe we can look at it. Very welcome, my dear. Yeah, so he says, I do tend to take my temperature a lot. Yes. Yes, it's common. It's common in the Sangha. We're always taking our temperature and saying, this was my state, this is my state, this is what happened. It's natural also. It's natural also. Lucia says, I love you, Father, so simple. Love you too, my dear. Looks like Vikas and I both had a late night.
I couldn't sleep the whole night because I work with offshore clients and it is very late, sometimes 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So I just woke up now.
I was also working till 3 a.m. last night.
Uh, I have a request to make.
Yes, of course.
Can you please take away the I in me and let the rest blossom itself? Because I think I quit. Mind is kind of not letting me sleep, not letting me work, not letting me eat. I'm eating and thinking of something else, and then just trying to be aware. being in a satsang and thinking about stocks, thinking about the score of India and how Murli Vijay is scoring his 100. It's just like it's not letting me settle in, and I'm kind of struggling. Though I'm trying to be aware, but then it's not stopping.
Yeah, I've already put the food in your mouths. Already the food is in your mouth, and the digesting will happen. It will just happen. Just know, just have this trust that as long as you are in satsang, more and more of this will get digested, and the prior conditioning will go away very fast. See, we've been conditioned like this for a long, long time, for maybe millions of years. For how many lifetimes? We've known to rely on this mind, we've known to rely on this ego for such a long time. So it takes a little bit of defrosting, you see. It takes a little bit of defrosting. And as this melting will happen, you will find yourself just in a few more days, in a few weeks, you will say, oh, it's so clear, it's so simple and easy. It's inevitable. It's inevitable as you stay in satsang, that clarity, more and more clarity will come. But if you have this expectation, even this expectation will go that something must happen. And then the mind will lose its power. So it could be saying that the stock market is crashing, what's going to happen, all of that could happen, but it will not touch you really. It will just be some twittering of a small insect or something like that. It will not bother you.
And I've heard that without the will of the father, without the will of the master, you cannot even be in the satsang. It's his wish. Like you cannot choose to be in a satsang. It's like he has chosen the disciple who will come in a satsang. So I request you on your feet that please bless me that, and just to make sure that I never miss the satsang, and I just be in your company and finally deserve the peace, finally get the peace that I deserve, and that is my eternal kind of the form. So I request on your feet.
My blessings are always with you. Always. You're always in my heart. We're always together.
Thank you.
All right, it's 11:30. I have to leave for a while. Then I'll see you all in a while. And Lizal has something that she plans to read or to play. Is it to read or are you going to play a audio?
I thought there are some contemplations in Arya's book called The Way of Liberation,
Okay,
and I thought I'd just read some of them very slowly.
very good idea. Very good.
They're just one-liners, almost like the Avadutta.
Very nice. Okay, I love you all. I'll see you all in a little while. In the meanwhile, you can have a look at the beautiful Omi and Jaya who are here.
So nice to see you guys.
Same, my dear.
Jaya, congratulations on your beautiful name.
Thank you.
So, like I said, the book is called The Way of Liberation. It is a free ebook on Adya Shanti's website. So, if you want to find it, it's free, and you can just go and download it as a PDF. And he has kindly made it available to everyone for free. And what I do is just read them out. I'm going to first do the invocation because I'm used to doing it first in the beginning. It's paying homage to our beautiful gurus. And it goes like this. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti Pujamalam Gurur Padam Mantramalam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamalam Gurur Kripa Mokshamalam Mujiji Kripa Mokshamalam Anantaji Kripa. It just suddenly occurred to me that I should read out to you what that chant means, in case you don't know and you've never heard it. It's a very traditional Sanskrit chant, and it means this: the Guru is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. In other words, all-encompassing. The Guru is indeed the supreme Brahman. To that Guru I prostrate. The root of meditation is the Guru's image. The root of worship is the Guru's feet. The root of mantra is the Guru's word. The root of liberation is the Guru's grace. So that's what the end means, Mokshamalam Guru Kripa. And then I always add Mujiji's grace, Anantaji's grace. So yeah, if you hear me say those words ever in Satsang, that's what it means. It means that you place your trust in the Guru and you take all the words to heart. Okay, so Adya's words from the Way of Liberation. I'm going to read them slowly, and you might want to close your eyes and have a little contemplation, and we'll do it until Father comes back. And Mia's just walked in. She wants to join us. So the first one is, being is the true nature of everything. Being the nature of everything, there is nothing outside of being. Being is self-cognizant and aware, right now. Being doesn't explain everything. Being is the true nature of everything. The only thing that realizes being is being itself. There is only being living itself through you, as you, and as all that exists, including you, little thing. Being is unborn and uncreated, the source and substance of all. Being is our original condition, prior to all egoic antics, prior to all thought, prior to all description, prior to past, present, and future. That beingness, which is prior to the world of space and time, is here, now, and always. Okay, that's enough. It is a single drop of rain a leaf falling from a tree, a single heartbeat. And I'll add a child sitting on your lap. It is the worldless world, the substance of emptiness. I am is pure being. It is the ultimate confession of reality, echoing throughout eternity. The infinite. Beyond ego is universal being. Beyond being is the infinite. The infinite is pure formless potential, prior to being and non-being, life and death, form and formlessness. The infinite is neither one nor many, neither dualistic nor non-dualistic, neither worldly nor spiritual, neither self nor other. The infinite knows itself through a simple, intuitive regard it has for itself, in every aspect of itself. Thus, it knows itself as utterly unknowable and absolutely present. To realize the infinite is to lose your inner world. To lose your inner world is eternal silence. It is to become the shining. All is well, and more well than can be imagined. The enlightenment I speak of is not simply a realization, not simply the discovery of one's true nature. This is just the beginning, the point of entry into an inner revolution. Realization does not guarantee this revolution. It simply makes it possible. Be still. Question every thought. Contemplate the source of reality. Keep your eyes open. You never know when something that seems entirely insignificant will split your whole world wide open into an eternal delight. Thought and freedom from suffering. There is no such thing as an absolutely true thought. There is no such thing as an absolutely true thought. This does not mean that some thoughts are not truer than others, only that no thought is absolutely true. What is what's happening. before you have a thought about it. What is what's happening before you have a thought about it. Notice the difference between what your mind thinks about this moment and this moment as it is before you have any thought about it. Suffering occurs when you believe in a thought that is at odds with what is, what was, or what may be. Experience this moment, free of your mind's interpretations of it. You are not your story. They are not your story about them. The world is not your story about the world. Suffering is how life tells you that you are resisting or misperceiving what is real and true. It is the way life suggests that you are not in harmony with what is. Deeper understanding and insight flow forth from a quiet mind. To be happy is to live as the unknown. All true knowing arises out of the unknown and is an expression of the unknown. To look within and not find yourself as a self is the beginning of finding yourself as a presence, as being. Being or spirit is universal and exists prior to all conditions, all points of view, all objects of consciousness, and all subjects as well. True meditation has no direction or goal. It is pure, wordless surrender, pure silent prayer. All methods aiming at achieving a certain state of mind are limited, impermanent, and conditioned. I'm going to read a little bit about what Arya calls the 5 foundations. The 5 foundations are the bedrock on which the teaching rests. They should not be ignored or taken lightly. They apply as much after awakening, if not more than before it. Don't be deceived into thinking that the 5 foundations are insignificant. They are a means of living and manifesting the ultimate nature of reality in daily life. He carries on to speak about how important they are. And then the first one is, clarify your aspiration. To clarify your aspiration means knowing exactly what it is that your spiritual life aspires to. Not as a future goal, but in each moment. In other words, what do you value most in your life? Not in the sense of moral values, but in the sense of what is most important to you. Contemplate this question. Do not assume that you know what your highest aspiration is, or even what is most important to you. Dig deep within, contemplate, and meditate on what the spiritual quest is about for you. Don't let anyone else define your aspiration for you. Look within until you find, with complete clarity, what you aspire to. I'm going to skip because he then speaks about how important this first foundation is. Unconditional follow-through. Making clear what you aspire to is the first step. It has the effect of gathering energy and attention together into a unified force and directing it toward your aspiration. Once you have clarified your aspiration, you now need to follow through on it. Following through has to do with what you are willing to do or let go of doing. Personal note, for me, it's let go of doing. Arya goes on. Spirituality does not require that you work hard toward achieving a result in the future, as much as it requires you to be fully present, sincere, and committed now, with absolute honesty and a willingness to uncover and let go of any illusion that comes between you and the realization of reality. Therefore, spirituality does not have to do with time or what can be achieved in time. It has to do only and always with the eternal present. What you actually love is most truly reflected in your actions, not in what you feel, think, or say. Number 3, never abdicate your authority. This means that you will take full responsibility for your life and never forfeit it over to someone else. There is no such thing as riding the coattails of an enlightened being to enlightenment itself. Because Here's your answer. A failure to understand this can lead, as so many have led, to cultish fanaticism, fundamentalism, magical thinking, disappointment, disillusionment. And he goes on to write about all the problems. Then he says, there is a fine line between being truly open to the guidance of a spiritual teacher and regressing into a childish relationship where you abdicate your adulthood. Each person needs to find a mature balance, being truly and deeply open to their spiritual guide without abdicating all of their authority. The same can be applied to spiritual teaching. A spiritual teaching is a finger pointing toward reality. It is not reality itself. To be in a true and mature relationship with a spiritual teaching requires you to apply it, not simply believe in it. Belief leads to various forms of fundamentalism. A good spiritual teaching is something that you work with and apply. In doing so, it works on you, often in a hidden way, and helps reveal to you the truth and falseness that lies within you. Number 4, practice absolute sincerity. To have genuine sincerity is absolutely necessary in the spiritual life. Sincerity encompasses the qualities of honesty, genuineness, and integrity. To be sincere does not mean to be perfect. In fact, the very effort to be perfect is itself insincere, because it is a way of avoiding seeing yourself as you are right now. To be able and willing to see yourself as you are, with all of your imperfections and illusions, requires genuine sincerity and courage. If we are constantly trying to hide from ourselves, we will never be able to awaken from our illusion of self. In order to be sincere, you must let go of being judgmental towards yourself. Being judgmental covers over your access to true sincerity. True sincerity reveals a powerful form of clarity and discernment that is necessary in order to perceive yourself honestly, without flinching or being held captive by your conditioned mind's judgment and defensiveness. The capacity and willingness to be honest with yourself is your greatest guard against self-deception and deceit, and aligns you with your genuine aspiration. There is no greater challenge for a human being than to be completely honest with oneself, as well as with others. And yet such honesty is absolutely necessary if we are ever to awaken from our dream of separation and live a truly genuine and undivided life. The last one. Be a good steward of your life. Being a good steward of your life means that you are not using spirituality to avoid any aspect of yourself or your life. I have observed that it is very common for people involved in spirituality to unconsciously use it to avoid painful, troubling, dysfunctional, or fearful aspects of themselves or their lives. There is often a hope that if they just awaken to reality, all of their challenges will disappear. While it is true that with the dawning of awakening, many of what we regard as problems simply disappear, it would be wrong to assume that a taste of awakening automatically resolves every challenging aspect of human life. Using spirituality to avoid challenging aspects of yourself or your day-to-day life can inhibit the dawning of spiritual enlightenment to a great extent, and will certainly inhibit its depth and stability. The way of liberation is a way of completely facing yourself and your life without withdrawing into denial, judgment, or magical thinking. It is a means of piercing through the veils of illusion and awakening to truth. To be a good steward of your life requires you to embrace every aspect of your life, inner and outer, pleasant and unpleasant. You do not necessarily need to face them all at once, just whatever arises in any given moment. Give each moment the attention, sincerity, and commitment that it deserves. A failure to do so is more costly than you can ever imagine. Your life, all of your life, is your path to awakening. By resisting or not dealing with its challenges, you stay asleep to reality. Pay attention to what life is trying to reveal to you. Say yes to its fierce, ruthless, and loving grace. So beautiful. Okay, then there's a lot of theory, and I'm going to stop there. Father isn't back, and we still have time for satsang. So we'll take a quick vote inside the Hangout. I have two books in front of me. I have I Am That, and I have Ramina's talks, Satsang with Ramana. Quick vote. Audience, grab your consoles and vote. I Am That or Ramana Talks. Votes for I Am That. Yeah, 3 votes. Four. Okay. I reckon it's going to be I Am That. So, as you know, it's got thousands of pages, and I'm just going to arbitrarily choose a page, and then whichever page we land on is what our self wants us to hear today. So, I've landed on 35. It is called The Greatest Guru is Your Inner Self. Questioner. On all sides, I hear that freedom from desires and inclinations is the first condition of self-realization. But I find the condition impossible of fulfillment. Ignorance of oneself causes desires, and desires perpetuate ignorance. A truly vicious circle. Maharaj. There are no conditions to fulfill. There is nothing to be done. Nothing to be given up. Just look and remember, whatever you perceive is not you, nor yours. It is there in the field of consciousness, but you are not the field and its contents, nor even the knower of the field. It is your idea that you have to do things that entangle you in the results of your efforts, the motive, the desire, the failure to achieve, the sense of frustration. All this holds you back. Simply look at whatever happens and know that you are beyond it. Question: does it mean I should abstain from doing anything? Maharaj: you cannot. What goes on must go on. If you stop suddenly, you will crash. Question: is it a matter of the known and the knower becoming one? Maharaj: both are ideas in the mind and words that express them. There is no self in them. The self is neither between nor beyond. To look for it on the mental level is futile. Stop searching and see. It is here and now. It is that I am you know so well. All you need to do is to cease taking yourself to be within the field of consciousness. Unless you have already considered these matters carefully, listening to me once will not do. Forget your past experiences and achievements. Stand naked, exposed to the winds and rains of life, and you will have a chance. Question: has devotion, bhakti, any place in your teaching? Maharaj: when you are not well, you go to a physician who tells you what is wrong and what is the remedy. If you have confidence in him, it makes things simple. You take the medicine, follow the diet, and get well. But if you do not trust him, you may still take a chance, or you may study medicine yourself. In all cases, it is your desire for recovery that moves you, not the physician. Without trust, there is no peace. Somebody or other you always trust. It may be your mother or your wife. Of all people, the knower of the self, the liberated man, is the most trustworthy. But merely to trust is not enough. You must also desire. Without desire for freedom, of what use is the confidence that you can acquire freedom? Desire and confidence must go together. The stronger you desire, the easier comes the help. The greatest guru is helpless as long as the disciple is not eager to learn. Eagerness and earnestness are all important. It's so funny. This is our theme. I promise you, I've chosen these things completely arbitrarily. I'm amazed at how congruent both of these readings are, and they're completely random. Confidence will come with experience. Be devoted to your goal, and devotion to Him who can guide you will follow. If your desire and confidence are strong, they will operate and take you to your goal, for you will not cause delay by hesitation and compromise. The greatest guru is your inner self. Truly, he is the supreme teacher. He alone can take you to your goal, and he alone meets you at the end of the road. Confide in him, and you need no outer guru. But again, you must have the strong desire to find him, and do nothing that will create obstacles and delays. And do not waste energy and time on regrets. Learn from your mistakes and do not repeat them. Question. If you do not mind my asking a personal question. Maharaj, yes, go ahead. Question. I see you sitting on an antelope skin. How does it tally with non-violence? Maharaj, all my working life I was a cigarette maker, helping people to spoil their health. And in front of my door the municipality has put up a public lavatory, spoiling my health. In this violent world, how can one keep away from violence of some kind or other? Question. Surely all avoidable violence should be avoided. And yet in India, every holy man has tiger, lion, leopard or antelope skin to sit on. Maharaj. Maybe because no plastics were available in ancient times, and a skin was best to keep the damp away. Rheumatism has no charm even for a saint. Thus the tradition arose that for lengthy meditations a skin is needed. Also, my teacher used to say it's very practical. In the old days, they used to sit in the forest on their own, meditating under the trees, and you know, they didn't have plastic, and insects will not crawl onto an animal skin. So it just kept all the creepy crawlies at bay. So it's a very practical thing while they were meditating on animal skin. Maharaj says, what an idea. I disapprove of the entire universe. Why only a skin? Questioner, what is wrong with the universe? Maharaj, forgetting yourself is the greatest injury. All the calamities means the things that are wrong. All the calamities flow from it. I'm going to read it again. Forgetting yourself is the greatest injury. All the calamities flow from it. Take care of the most important. The lesser will take care of itself. You do not tidy up a dark room. You open the windows first. Letting in the light makes everything easy. So, let us wait with improving others until we have seen ourselves as we are and have changed. There is no need to turn round and round in endless questioning. Find yourself and everything will fall into its proper place. Question. The urge to return to the source is very rare. Is it at all natural? Maharaj, outgoing is natural in the beginning, ingoing in the end. But in reality, the two are one. just like breathing in and out are one. Question, in the same way, are not the body and the dweller in the body one? Maharaj, events in time and space, birth and death, cause and effect, these may be taken as one. But the body and the embodied are not of the same order of reality. The body exists in time and space, transient and limited, while the dweller is timeless and spaceless, eternal and all-pervading. To identify the two is a grievous mistake and a cause of endless suffering. You can speak of the mind and body as one, but the body-mind is not the underlying reality. So beautiful. Whoever he may be, the dweller is in control of the body and therefore responsible for it. Maharaj, there is a universal power which is in control and is responsible. Question, and so I can do as I like and put the blame on some universal power? How easy? Maharaj, yes, very easy. Just realize the one mover behind all that moves and leave all to him. If you do not hesitate or cheat, this is the shortest way to reality. I'm laughing because it's the shortest but the hardest. Stand without desire and fear, relinquishing all control and all responsibility. Question, what madness? Maharaj, yes, divine madness. What is wrong in letting go the illusion of personal control and personal responsibility? Both are the mind only. Of course, as long as you imagine yourself to be in control, you should also imagine yourself to be responsible. One implies the other. Question, how can the universal be responsible for the particular? Maharaj, all life on earth depends on the sun, yet you cannot blame the sun for all that happens, though it is the ultimate cause. Light causes the color of the flower, but it neither controls nor is responsible for it directly. It makes it possible. That is all. Question. What I do not like in all this is taking refuge in some universal power. Maharaj, you cannot quarrel with facts. Question. Whose facts? Yours or mine? Maharaj, yours. You cannot deny my facts, for you do not know them. Could you know them, you would not deny them. Here lies the trouble. You take your imagining for facts and my facts for imagination. I know for certain that all is one. Differences do not separate. Either you are responsible for nothing or for everything. To imagine that you are in control and responsible for one body only is the aberration of the body-mind. Question. Still, you are limited by your body. Maharaj, only in matters pertaining to the body. This I do not mind. It is like enduring the seasons of the year. They come, they go, they hardly affect me. In the same way, body-minds come and go. Life is forever in search of new expressions. Question. As long as you do not put all the burden of evil on God, I am satisfied. There may be a God for all I know, but to me he is a concept projected by the human mind. He may be a reality to you, But to me, society is more real than God, for I am both its creature and its prisoner. Your values are wisdom and compassion. Society's sagacious selfishness. I live in a world quite different from yours. Maharaj. None compels. Questioner. None compels you, but I am compelled. My world is an evil world, full of tears, toil, and pain. To explain it away by the intellectualizing, by putting forth theories of evolution and karma, is merely adding insult to injury. The God of an evil world is a cruel God. Sure. Maharaj, you are the God of your world, and you are both stupid and cruel. Let God be a concept, your own creation. Find out who you are. How did you come to live? Longing for truth, goodness, and beauty in a world full of evil. Of what use is your arguing for or against God, when you just do not know who is God and what are you talking about? The God born of fear and hope, shaped by desire and imagination, cannot be the power that is, the mind and the heart of the universe. Questioner. I agree that the world I live in and the God I believe in are both creatures of imagination. But in what way are they created by desire? Why do I imagine a world so painful and a God so indifferent? What is wrong with me that I should torture myself so cruelly? The enlightened man comes and tells me, it is but a dream to put an end to. But is he not himself a part of the dream? I find myself trapped and see no way out. You say you are free. Of what are you free? For heaven's sake, don't feed me on words. Enlighten me. Help me to wake up, since it is you who sees me tossing in my sleep. Shane, so beautiful, like the freedom of desire. I mean, the desire for freedom. Maharaj says, when I say I am free, I merely state a fact. If you are an adult, you are free from infancy. I am free from all description and identification. Whatever you may hear, see, or think of, I am not that. I am free from being a precept or a concept. Questioner. Still, you have a body and you depend on it. Maharaj. Again, you assume that your point of view is the only correct one. I repeat, I was not, am not, shall not be a body. To me, this is a fact. I too was under the illusion of having been born, but my guru made me see that birth and death are mere ideas. Birth is merely the idea I have a body, and death, I have lost my body. Now, when I know I am not a body, the body may be there or may not. What difference does it make? The body-mind is like a room. It is there, but I need not live in it all the time. So beautiful. I love it. I'm going to read it again. The body-mind is like a room. It is there, but I need not live in it all the time. We're full. I hope Father's not trying to get in. If anyone sees a message, will you let me know? Oh, Omi and Jaya. You'll see him come back, so you'll tell us. I totally forgot.
Yeah. He must have been itself.
Yeah. He did say he's coming back, right, Omi?
Yeah, I think he said he'll be back soon.
Okay, so I'm just going to carry on.
Please.
Beautiful, Maharaj. Question. Yet there is a body and you do take care of it. Maharaj, the power that created the body takes care of it. Questioner. We are jumping from level to level all the time. Maharaj, there are two levels to consider. The physical, of facts, and mental, of ideas. I am beyond both. Neither your facts nor ideas are mine. What I see is beyond. Cross over to my side and see with me. Questioner. What I want to say is very simple. As long as I believe I am the body, I must not say God will look after my body. God will not. He will let it starve, sicken, and die. Maharaj, what else do you expect from a mere body? Why are you so anxious about it? Because you think you are the body. You want it indestructible. Question. Yet there is a body. You want it indestructible. You can extend its life considerably by appropriate practices, but for what ultimate good? Questioner. It is better to live long and healthy. It gives us a chance to avoid the mistakes of childhood and youth, the frustrations of adulthood, the miseries and imbecility of old age. Maharaj, by all means, live long, but you are not the master. Can you decide the days of your birth and death? We are not speaking the same language. Yours is a make-believe talk. All hangs on suppositions and assumptions. You speak with assurance about things you are not sure of. Questioner. Therefore I am here, Maharaj. You are not yet here. I am here. Come in. But you don't. You want me to live your life, feel your way, use your language. I cannot, and it will not help you. You must come to me. Words are of the mind, and the mind obscures and distorts. Hence, the absolute need to go beyond words and move over to my side. Questioner, take me over. Maharaj, I am doing it, but you resist. You give reality to concepts, while concepts are distortions of reality. Abandon all conceptualization and stay silent and attentive. Be earnest about it, and all will be well with you. Maharaj, now it's a new chapter. You must realize, first of all, that you are the proof of everything, including yourself. None can prove your existence, because his existence must be confirmed by you first. Your being and knowing you owe nobody. Remember, you are entirely on your own. You do not come from somewhere. You do not go anywhere. You are timeless being and awareness. Question. There is a basic difference between us. You know the real, while I know only the workings of my mind. Therefore, what you say is one thing, and what I hear is another. What you say is true. What I understand is false, though the words are the same. There is a gap between us. How to close the gap? Maharaj, give up the idea of being what you think yourself to be, and there will be no gap. Easy peasy. If we can, sometimes you read one line, and it's so beautiful. And if we can only do that one thing, the most simple, basic instruction: give up the idea of being what you think yourself to be, and then there will be no gap between yourself and Maharaj. By imagining yourself as separate, you have created the gap. You need not cross it. Just don't create it. All is you and yours. There is nobody else. This is a fact. Oh, my beloved. Question. How strange. The very same words which to you are true, to me are false. There is nobody else. How obviously untrue. Maharaj, let them be true or untrue. Words don't matter. What matters is the idea you have of yourself, for it blocks you. Give it up. Question. From early childhood, I was taught to think that I am limited to my name and shape. A mere statement to the contrary will not erase the mental groove. A regular brainwashing is needed. If at all, it can be done. Maharaj, you call it brainwashing, I call it yoga. Leveling up all the mental ruts. You must not be compelled to think the same thoughts again and again. Move on. Questioner, easier said than done. Maharaj, don't be childish. He was hardcore. Easier to change than to suffer. Grow out of your childishness. That is all. Questioner, such things are not done. They happen. Maharaj, everything happens all the time. But you must be ready for it. Readiness is ripeness. You do not see the real because your mind is not ready for it. Questioner, if reality is my real nature, how can I ever be unready? Maharaj, unready means afraid. You are afraid of what you are. Your destination is the whole, but you are afraid that you will lose your identity. This is childishness, clinging to the toys, to your desires and fears, opinions and ideas. Give it all up and be ready for the real to assert itself. This self-assertion is best expressed in words. I am. Nothing else has being. Of this you are absolutely certain. Questioner, I am, of course, but I know also, and I know that I am so-and-so, the owner of the body, in manifold relations with other owners. Maharaj, it is all memory carried over into the now. Questioner, I can be certain only of what is now. Past and future, memory and imagination, These are mental states, but they are all I know, and they are now. You are telling me to abandon them. How does one abandon the now? Maharaj, you are moving into the future all the time, whether you like it or not. Questioner, I am moving from now into now. I do not move at all. Everything else moves, not me. Maharaj, granted. But your mind does move. In the now, you are both the movable and the immovable. So far, you took yourself to be the movable and overlooked the immovable. Turn your mind inside out. Overlook the movable, and you will find yourself to be the ever-present, changeless reality, inexpressible, but solid, like a rock. I'm reminded of something Muji said in Satsang on Sunday. And it struck me so beautifully. It was, if you do nothing else, just keep placing your attention on that which does not move. So beautiful, our Master. The highest wisdom. Question. If it is now, why am I not aware of it? Maharaj. Because you hold onto the idea that you are not aware of it. Let go the idea. Questioner. It does not make me aware. Maharaj. Wait. You want to be on both sides of the wall at the same time. You can, but you must remove the wall. Or realize that the wall and both sides of it are one single space, to which no idea like here or there applies. Questioner. Similes prove nothing. My only complaint is this: why do I not see what you see? Why your words do not sound true in my mind? Let me know this much. All else can wait. You are wise and I am stupid. You see and I don't. Where and how shall I find my wisdom? Maharaj, if you know yourself to be stupid, you are not stupid at all. That's good. If you know yourself to be stupid, you are not stupid at all. Questioner. Just as knowing myself sick does not make me well, so knowing myself foolish cannot make me wise. Maharaj. To know that you are ill, must you not be well initially? Oh no, I know by comparison. If I am blind from birth and you tell me that you know things without touching them while I must touch to know, I am aware that I am blind without knowing what does it mean to see. Similarly, I know that I am lacking something when you assert things which I cannot grasp. You are telling me such wonderful things about myself. According to you, I am eternal, omnipresent, omniscient, supremely happy, preserver and destroyer of all there is, the source of all life, the heart of being, the Lord and the beloved of every creature. You equate me with the ultimate reality, the source and the goal of all existence. I just blink, for I know myself to be a tiny little bundle of desires and fears, a bubble of suffering, a transient flash of consciousness in an ocean of darkness. Maharaj. Before pain was, you were. After pain had gone, you remained. Pain is transient. You are not. And you can place your particular vasana in there. If it's fear, I could read the sentence. Before fear was, you were. After fear has gone, you remain. Fear is transient, and you are not. Sadness, depression. Place any one of your vasanas in that sentence. Before pain was, you were. After pain has gone, you remain. Pain is transient. You are not. So beautiful. Questioner. I am sorry, but I do not see what you see. From the day I was born till the day I die, pain and pleasure will weave the pattern of my life. Of being before birth and after death, I know nothing. I neither accept nor deny you. I hear what you say, but I do not know it. Maharaj, now you are conscious, are you not? And Father will say, can you stop being? Questioner, please do not ask me about before and after. I just know only what is now. Maharaj, good enough. You are conscious. Hold on to it. There are states when you are not conscious. Call it unconscious being. Questioner, being unconscious. Maharaj, consciousness and unconsciousness do not apply here. Existence is in consciousness. Essence is independent of consciousness. Oh, Father's back. Hari Om.
Hari Om, my dear. Thank you so much. I was enjoying listening actually.
Beautiful Maharaj's words.
Thank you so much. Some questions I missed earlier. Okay, Shakti had said, Father, the most profound happening in this life, wait for the jet plane. The most profound happening in this life is to be able to love you, / Sri Mujiji, to give my life, my heart, which is not even mine, to the one. I thought I had traveled billions of miles, jumping, billions of miles to find my way, but no, you have ever been my own heart. Nick said, feels like a great relief to just be free of taking the temperature and resting in what is right. Govil said, hello Father, I know this is the question of person, even the declaration. But Father, nowadays I can't help myself. I really want to know who am I exactly, just like you felt in presence of Mujiji. I know even this is imagination of person about waking. Is it okay? So if you're still here, just let me know and we can look at this question. And then he said, because I had been watching your videos, Mujiji's videos, and it really helped me to clarify my doubts about enlightenment. But this question, who am I, exactly is coming very frequently. This is very good. There is no better question to come. If the question, who am I, is coming, then there is nothing more auspicious than that. Because it is to the rare one that this question appeals. Isn't it funny that only so few seem to ask this question? Who am I? We go through our whole life running this treadmill of life, and most of us never bother to ask, but who am I? Whose life is this? This is very good. Thank you, Prema. So if Govil is here, he can let us know, and I can look at the question. Was he able to join the hangout or no? I remember you asked him to come in.
Yeah, he's quiet, Father. We still have 25 viewers. We haven't lost any on YouTube, so I'm assuming he's still there because we didn't lose any viewers the whole of Satsang.
Yes. That means the YouTube page is still open, but you don't know whether they're still watching or not.
Correct. Technically correct. We don't know if they're paying attention.
Yes.
Yes.
If they have any attention left to pay at all.
Yeah. I might have put them to sleep with the reading.
Is there something more live with someone who's here or just watching right now? We can look at that for a few minutes. Let's hear from Louise. It's been a while since I heard from her.
Hi, Father.
Hello, my dear.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. So are you catching a break between your two jobs or what time is it there?
It's in the afternoon here now. Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing one, but it can wait. It's just I can do it any time, so
I see.
yeah. I don't have anything to say though. Well, I sort of had some questions, but my niece is coming over. We haven't seen her for a year, and I don't want to be blubbering in the middle of her coming over.
Ah,
I did want to ask something, but they just said they're coming, so. I can ask, I guess. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah. I spoke to you about this anyway, but something that a thought, I guess, that's getting belief is, or there's something around not wanting to just let everything come.
Yes.
I don't know how to put it. It's like there's a fear that there's like a massive. Sorry, am I still here?
Yes, you are.
There's just this big fear around anger coming out. Like there's like, that seems to be where there's a lot of juice. Not that I have any control over it anyway, but there's some sort of thing going on around just, is there some things that shouldn't be let be? I don't really know how to put it. It's just fear around what will come out, I guess, because of what comes out. When there's a sense of control, there's still stuff that comes out that's pretty horrible, and so it's like, if, what would happen, I guess.
So suppose there was some horrible stuff. Suppose we go with the presumption that there is some horrible stuff somewhere inside. So where should it be? Should we keep it inside, or is it better that it comes out?
Yeah, it's better that it comes out. It just feels like I don't know where it's safe for it to come out, because it definitely doesn't want to, I don't want to hurt anyone, or that's the thoughts that go on around it.
Life knows exactly what has to come out when. Everything happens is great. Everything is great. Our mind will not accept it, but the fact is that even the most uncomfortable situations are the ones that open our mind to the truth the most.
Yeah. And there's no control anyway. Like, this is the thing. There isn't. I don't know what the worry is about, because there's no control anyway. There's just a thought that if I didn't believe... Sorry.
There is no one who can control, you see. There's no one who needs to be controlled also.
Yeah.
And what are we controlling with what? It's like trying to control the course of a river with a small twig in our hands. And to direct the course of life with what? You have no tools to do that. Life is just flowing.
Yeah.
And even the most horrific seeming incidents are showing us that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The world is showing us every day that everything is so unpredictable. So unpredictable.
It's just, that's where there just seems to be some sort of, it feels like restriction. Like, it's kind of where the whole seeking thing came from, was around this. Yeah, emotional things.
And that's why it was grace, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, like you said, if this wasn't there, then the seeking might never have happened. So then must we be grateful for it, or must we try to resist it?
Yeah, grateful. It's just with the girls, like, with people you love, you just don't want to... I don't even know what I'm saying. It just doesn't feel like an openness to allow some stuff.
And where there is this resistance that you can see, there might be still some identification lurking around. What are you still believing to be true? Suppose you didn't believe anything to be true, then how would things be? It could be
Yeah.
some other identification. Which ID badge are you going to flash to say that I believe this thought because I'm a mother or I'm a daughter? All these various IDs we carry around, isn't it?
I've noticed actually lately there's so much quite juvenile stuff coming up. You know, I said that in the chat, like I'm having little fights with my kids, like I'm them. I'm the same level. It's quite funny.
It's
And
completely
yeah,
fine. Satsang is this space where everything is allowed to come up. You see.
yeah,
Allowed to come up and get released. It's all fine. You don't have to put on anything here. You don't have to be proper. You don't have to pretend to be always happy or joyous. It's not a prerequisite to be in satsang.
yeah,
There is complete openness here for all emotions to be expressed.
yeah. Anger's a one that doesn't have much openness, Father, to be honest. Like, there's not a feeling of openness towards it or about it. Or
Be open. Start with now. Because if you say that I want to be in the future open to anger, it never works like that. You start with now. Just be open to it now and say, let whatever is coming come up. It is the resistance actually that makes it worse, you see, because that internal battle seems to go on. Anger starts to come, and it seems like a strong force, isn't it? And then you try to press it down, and then it tries to come up even harder. So it becomes like that. Rather than that, if you just leave it free, then it doesn't last more than a few moments. But if you're fighting this internal battle and it is struggling to come out, then it becomes a long drawn thing.
yeah, yeah. Like, yeah. It's sometimes like just bursts out and then it is gone.
Whose anger is it? He's like, that's the end of our conversation. Releasing me now. That will just come. But the fact is that it is not your anger. It is not a personal anger. It can seem very personal. How do you create anger? How do you create? What raw materials do you use? How do you put it together? How do you create any feeling? It's just
You
that
don't.
something appears, and after it appears, we say that this is mine. See, this is my anger. I am so angry.
Yeah.
And the mind will come and say, but this gives me an excuse to get angry anytime. You can't. You can't do it. Try to get angry now. Try to get. Can't do it. Just these mind games, you see. Anger comes when anger comes.
Yeah.
Joy comes. Bliss comes when bliss comes. Rage comes when rage comes. It just comes and goes. It's like the audience of the movie is saying, I created that scene, I made that scene, that character is me. All this is a game. That's why, even if you were to get angry, I cannot take it personally, you see, because I know you didn't create it.
Yeah.
We're not even able to do that. As a person, I cannot do anything at all. Now my battery is flashing 3%, so I might just go out any minute.
Okay. Thank you, Father.
It might-
Thank you.
And we can look more at this. If there's still something there, we can look next time as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to sort of be clear on it.
Yes.
I
Just
feel
watch
like,
it.
yeah.
Watch any emotion and see whether it is yours. How can you call it yours? Isn't it just another appearance? And then you might say that it's appearing for me, isn't it? Who is this me for whom it is appearing? Can you find this one? We presume this me for too long. Shall I
Yeah.
just get my battery? Maybe I get my charger.
Hey, on. How's it hanging?
Still on?
Can I say something?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Something yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that became sort of clear was that the identity is around this. The whole identity is kind of around this anger thing, or has been. And I won't be a sec. No, I'm not working tonight. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, it's the kind of foundation of it. It kind of became clearer.
It seems to have become now, because what has happened is that not so much belief is going to thoughts, but now so much belief seems to go for many of us into these feelings. But I'm feeling this way, and I'm feeling this way, and this is happening, and this seems to be the place where identity seems to be hiding now. See, because we've been relentless in attacking belief in thought. Now we need to have the same relentlessness in seeing whose feeling is this. How is this your feeling? How is it different from any other appearance? It's just another appearance. Just like thoughts are appearances, there's some energy. Same way feelings are some energy. They seem to be stronger right now because we're still feeling that they are happening to me. But when we look for the me and we cannot find, it'll all get clarified. It'll all get clear. Okay, so we can look and say, whose anger is it? Whose anger is it really? Don't run from these feelings. If you run, then they will chase. If you just stay and look, they will dissipate. Without the expectation of them dissipating, they will not last. Nothing can survive your clear looking, your clear seeing.
Yeah, they aren't lasting as long. It's kind of coming out more intense, but not as lasting. They're not lasting, but they seem a bit more intense. But yeah, there's not so much thought around them.
Yes. And without believing a thought about them, they cannot cause much trouble. In fact, any trouble.
Yeah.
You see, look at babies. Babies are so beautiful. They go through sometimes very difficult experiences of pain, but they are not going to come back after the pain is over and say, "Oh, I suffered so much, and so much seemed to be happening." It's just completely fresh, you see, because they're not believing any thoughts about them.
Yeah.
They can throw the worst tantrums. Babies can throw the worst tantrums. They can become blue and red. We know that, isn't it? As parents. But after 5 minutes, it's all over. They won't even remember what it was about.
That's how I feel a bit lately.
Yeah.
Like a 3 or 4-year-old just chucking tantrums and not knowing what to say afterwards because it's gone. People are looking at me strange. I'm like, I don't know what to say. There's nothing to say. I don't feel to say sorry or because it's gone. It's strange.
And others will also recognize that it is gone because they can see it in your eyes, you see. The words are not so important. Sometimes they become important, but it's usually what they can see. And if they see you resenting, if they see you holding on to it, that is worse. If they see that some explosion happened and now it's gone, even the loved ones are not so concerned.
Yeah. The younger ones are okay. The older ones are looking at me a bit odd for a couple of days, and then I'm not worried. You know, like there's no holding on to it, but they're sort of tentative with me. But the kids get over it quick.
And this also won't last. And there's not so much of it inside that it will keep going on and on like that. It just come, go, come. It's okay, a little bit.
Yeah.
Use it. If you use it as an opportunity, then you will find that it will dissipate very fast. So every time some anger comes, whenever you get that second to look at it, whenever you have that awareness to say that, okay, I must look at this. Then you see the anger and say, where is it? What does it look like? Who does it belong to? How do I say that it is mine? What makes it mine? And this will lead you to a beautiful discovery that this me has no existence at all. There is no me. So there cannot be a mind.
I've noticed so far that it's like I can feel something inside wanting to make it, real. Like it's like something will happen, and there's not really any interest in it. But there's also, it's like 50-50. It's like half is still trying to make something happen out of it, and half is like not. There's no interest. But I can see that there's something trying to keep it going, or keep whatever the thoughts are going around in the mind going, and holding on to the emotion, the energy. But yeah, it's weird.
And where are you in all of this? Where are you in all of this? When this something is going on and this emotions are strong, then where are you?
Seeing that both of those things happening, though. Yeah, seeing that that's happening.
As what?
I don't know.
Is there something that the seeing is reporting to? Is there a seer there?
No. Sometimes it's quick. That it's kind of like it's Yeah. Sometimes it's really quick. There's just that seeing, and it doesn't feel like anything. It just feels like I don't know. It feels like it's not. It feels like it's not me, the me I'm used to. Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know.
Don't try to
I don't know.
navigate it as a person. If you try to navigate it as a person, then it will become a struggle. Just look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just look. Very simply, just have to look. Don't try to figure it out. When I say navigate it as a person, I mean don't try to figure it out. All that is required is just a simple looking to see what is true. There's a seeing, and I don't seem to be any different from this seeing. And then there are these appearances. And these appearances can appear in various ways, but in no way do they actually affect the seeing in any way. So we don't have to figure out that this is what's really happening. Every instant we can just look. Is this really happening like this? What is going on? And in this way, when these moments come of strong anger, then they can be used as opportunities to transcend itself. And when you start using these as opportunities like this, then the ego will be scared to play them like this more and more. That way, we are tricking the trickster itself. We are using whatever the trickster is saying to unravel the trickster itself. Just a simple, gentle checking of what is true right now. That's all that's required. We don't have to figure out anything at all. Not even why it's happening, when will it stop, is it good or bad.
Yeah.
What is true in this moment? What is true in this moment? In this moment, the past is just a dream, isn't it? Everything is just from some memory, it's showing up that this happened like this.
Mostly, this moment is usually it's a blur, like we were talking about that before. It's like this particular, I don't know if any mind is more noisy than another mind, but when I bring my attention back to this moment, it's like continuous chatter.
Yeah.
It's a blur. But that is seen, like.
Yes. Yes.
I don't.
So that which sees it, is that also a blur?
That which sees it?
Yes. So blur is there, blur is there. Everything is mashed up. Then who sees it? Is that also blurry? Can we say anything about this one? The one that is seeing. Does it even apply a concept of blurriness or non-blurriness? Does it even apply to seeing?
I don't know how to talk about it.
Yes. Yes. Talking about it in reality is impossible. At best, we can just point to it, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm.
Nothing needs to happen. Don't feel that something needs to happen. You are not a happening. No happening will really reveal yourself to you. For you, what might be happening is that it's like this thought, right? It just, I can't seem to get it. I don't know why I don't get it. It just doesn't happen. Here, I come here and it becomes very blurry and I don't get it.
I don't know if I get it or not at all. Like, I don't even have that. It's just, I don't even know if I get it. But there feels like, I don't know. There feels like there is there's seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if that's it. Like, all sorts of stuff goes on. You know, thinking's going on.
Yeah.
But
So that's
there's
why I like
seeing.
just clarify it by saying that there are these two A's. There's A for awareness and there's A for appearance. Is there anything besides these two?
No.
So the appearance
No.
can be anything. Anything. It can be thought, it can be emotion, it can be objects, it can be body, it can be anything, any appearance. But is the first A, the awareness, touched by any of this appearance? So don't try to read through the appearances and try to figure out the appearances. Nobody has been able to do that. Nobody can figure out appearances. Nobody can control appearances. But in spite of whatever the appearance might be, you are unmoved as the awareness itself. No matter what the mind is saying. The mind could be saying anything, and you might even be believing it. But I cannot believe you.
That's good.
Yes, otherwise it would be trouble. If I were to start believing that something can happen to awareness, then we would all be in the same mess.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just talking to you, you can't believe it yourself. So it just loses its.
Yeah.
I
That's the
don't
power.
know.
Is the power of disbelief. You see, that's the power of disbelief. There's so much disbelief in the thought now that even in this communication, because you see that there is no belief in what the mind is saying, clarity can come very quickly.
Yeah. Sometimes I just want to just say everything that it's saying, so that
Yes.
every single thing that it says can get, you know, you can say no, no, no to it all, and then it'll be just gone, done.
Yeah. It's good to do that sometimes, and especially the ones which still have some juice, you can just expose it in satsang. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was one. That was one.
Good. Good.
Oh, I think my niece is here, Father.
Okay,
Am I
my
okay
dear.
to go? All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
Love you.
A lot of chat. Kanchan says, I'm still watching and waiting for Anantaji. Aditi says, tell Louise. Muji says, there should be anger and screaming rooms everywhere, but society would not understand. Sumeher says, Father, since I have come here, I do not have the will to make any time for any spiritual practice. Let me try and explain this. Earlier, I used to take a time out and sit in peace. My way of meditation, breath, chant Om, and then concentrate on the third eye. I used to have various experiences, including seeing magnificent visions of hearing Om arising from inside, leaving the body vibrating with circles of energy being felt. Now I feel no need to experience this, for I do not care for the experience. Yes, I feel a lot of bliss during actively meditating. Now with the pointing, the effect is the same, only there is no active doing. Yes. The mind pops and says, I should meditate, but the drive is gone. Please shed light on this one. What happens with meditators is that what happens with the meditation practice is that the sense of meditator becomes strong. And what is meditation actually? What is the point of all sadhana? The point of all sadhana is to build your muscles up to a point where you're not believing your next thought. And what if I told you that you did not require any muscle building for that? It can seem like that sometimes. There could be some where the mind is so strong and there's so much identification that even sometimes I would say, okay, why don't you do some japa? Why don't you focus on your breaths? Do something like that. But I find that very rare because I feel that most that come here are very easily able to drop the belief in the next thought. So that is the true point of all sadhana, which is to let go of our belief that has been given to the mind, to the ego. Sometimes what happens with sadhana, especially if we seem to be getting good at it, is that the sadhak or the seeker or the meditator identity or the one who's had spiritual experiences, that identity takes on a specialness, of its own, and this leads to the spiritual ego. Where we start feeling that there is something special about what I have experienced. And with specialness then comes this spiritual ego, this sense of being a person who is spiritually awake. There is no person who is awake. Person itself means asleep. But this one is very difficult to convince. In fact, I say that I don't get tired during satsang unless I encounter a strong spiritual ego. See, because then it becomes very resistive. Because the words that they're saying are true. Most of the words that you're saying are true. Then if you're a spiritual ego, you can say, I am that. But you can smell the arrogance on it, isn't it? You can smell the person on it. So then the presence needs to work. Somehow then the presence only needs to work because no words will get through. Because you feel that you already know it. You see, as a spiritual ego, it will seem like, oh, I know this. I know I'm not the doer. I know I'm not a person. I know I'm the supreme one. But sometimes in the smell of it, you can tell that it's coming from a personal place. So it's very good that you are not nurturing this one who has had experiences. This spiritual ego is not being nurtured now, and there is no interest in it. There's no experience means anything to you now. This blue light shining here is as much of an experience as this pink bottle lying in front of me. It means nothing at all. What would it mean to me? What would it mean to awareness? And more often than not, it becomes a trap. oh, last time I must have done my meditation correctly because this chakra was shining and vibrating. This time it's just not happening. See, I know I shouldn't have watched that movie last night. It can be like that. I should just focus on my sadhana. I should just focus on my. So all this mind game can go on with spiritual experiences. That's why it's very important to drop them almost as soon as they came up. If you attach importance to them, then they can be trouble. If you attach meaning to them, then it can be trouble. At best, we can just be grateful for them and thank the Master for showing us this light along the path to show that we are in the right way, in the right direction. True meditation is the company of your own being. True meditation is also satsang, the company of your own being with your own self. So all the other practices are prerequisites to get you to a point where you can just rest in your own being. But we made it very simple because you cannot stop being now. And this presence can be perceived immediately. So I'm not against the practice. I'm against the idea of the practitioner. I'm not against meditation. I'm against the idea of the meditator. In the inquiry, the inquirer must go. You see. That is the inquiry. Okay. Lucia also has gone. She says, I must go prepare dinner. Thank you so much, beloved Father and Lizal. So grateful for all your guidance. Thank you so much, my dear. Jasminder also needed to go. Thank you so much.
Father,
Yes, my dear.
something came up now and it's been a bit of a trouble for some time, and I really want to ask this and clarify.
Yes.
You have
Just
spoken.
I just want to check with Lizal if she has to go or she's being forced
Yes,
to
okay.
stay here. It's good? Okay. Okay. Okay,
Sorry,
Devi.
I'm not late. But you said something that feels important to ask about the spiritual ego. I know my mind is playing a lot of tricks on me, so I don't really know the difference between, for example, if there is something like this here, or if just my mind making me feel guilty. Because there were many moments of seeing, and then this strong resistance comes. And I don't know if the resistance comes from this spiritual ego who feels like I know something and I don't want to let go of this, or it's just, I don't know. You understand the question?
Yes. Just one second. So you say that there have been some moments of insight, and because there have been these moments of insight, you're not sure whether there is a development of this spiritual ego, the one who feels that I know something. You know, the best part of being here is that whatever we say can be verified right now. So it doesn't matter what experiences have been had in the past. The truth can be experienced in this very moment. You see? So this is not a theoretical, although it can sound like that sometimes, it's not really a theoretical satsang. It's very practical. Right now we can check what is here. And because seeing is here, awareness must be here now. It doesn't matter whether seeing was there in the past or not. It really is not any different. The awareness is present right here. The being is present right here. So it doesn't matter whether you had a awakening experience or you felt that there was complete enlightenment or liberation. None of that really matters. What matters is only what is here now. Awakening is not about past or future. And in the present, you are always awake. So is there one who feels special? Where is that one? Where is that one? In the moment now, is there such a one?
No. There is just the one who tries to go back to the experience.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just get
But
it again, like I
you
love
are the greater.
Hmm?
You are the greater because without you being aware of it, it could not exist.
Yes.
Even as an energy, it could not exist without your awareness of it.
There is a lot of trust in you. I feel, yeah, your smile is really, it's really chopping, as you said once. And also full of love. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear. So happy you're here.
Thank you.
So welcome. Always welcome.
Father, can I say something?
Of course, my dear. Please go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I love you so much, and I'm just so. There's World War III going on here with the two kids, but I love you so much, and I'm so grateful.
Same,
Just
my dear. Thank you so much.
so much love. You're so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love you. You know how much fun my kids make of this smile I get in satsang? They don't stop teasing me about it all day. They're like, okay, he'll go into satsang now, and that grin will come. Hey, I can't help it. It just happens. My daughter will say, can you stop doing that? It looks very silly. Hmm? So then I have to say, I can't. I just can't. He'll even say things like, but Mujiji doesn't smile so much. Why are you always smiling? Yeah. It's just the way it is playing out. So we also have to leave. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Shakti. Okay. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai.
Jai. Ananta ji ki jai.
Yay.
Jai.
Thank you, Rizal. I'm going to catch up on the recording of your reading as well later today. I'm sure it was wonderful as always.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you, Malal. Thank you. Thank you, Prema. Thank you, Ivan.
Thanks, Lizelle. That reading was amazing. So beautiful. Thank you.
Pleasure, my darling. Pleasure.
I never get to sit in your 4 o'clock readings because it's such a difficult time here. So it was just so wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure, pleasure. Love, love, love.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Prema. Bye, Devi. Love you.